My name is Gracie Ermy, and I am a research software engineer. The computer science and the technology that I build is related to wildlife conservation. For instance, right now we have a project going on with researchers who are studying killer whales, and killer whales have been one of my favorite animals for forever. So getting to work with them and see this project through has been really exciting. As I went into high school, I started getting interested in math and physics, and so started thinking more about doing something in the STEM world. My high school physics teacher, Mr. Ingman, was also a very big influence on me. He was combining what I liked about math with real-world problems. You know, we were building like model bridges and dropping eggs off of the roof. Mr. Ingman taught me it's okay to have things fail. Like, I remember very clearly my egg drop project. I had worked hard on like building this contraption that when we dropped it off the roof, the egg was supposed to survive, and it did not survive. That's been really important in my career, is to remember that perseverance part of science. And if something doesn't work, that's almost more useful than if it worked the first time. You wouldn't really learn very much from that.
My name is Abigail Peterson. I'm a first-year student at Western Washington University, majoring in computer science and minoring in entrepreneurship and innovation. I am also the founder and CEO of Magnify Wellness, which is a tech nonprofit whose mission is to ensure that everyone gains equal access to mental health support. We've impacted over 54,000 people through the iOS app that I programmed and published. I am very passionate about computer science, educational equity, getting underrepresented groups in STEM, and mental health innovation. Growing up, I really struggled with anxiety, and I was actually homeschooled my entire life up until high school. And freshman year of high school, I experienced a lot of bullying, a lot of harassment from my peers just because of the way that I grew up in a different world. And so I really struggled a lot with finding my place, finding friends. It left me feeling powerless, very insecure, and made me feel that, maybe coding really isn't for me. I learned of this really cool entrepreneurial boot camp called Nalakai Startup Academy, which would select Hawaii high school students to learn how to change the world with technology. And so I applied, and I was the one of 20 high school students selected. I learned that I actually wasn't the only one struggling with bullying and feeling alone. My 3 other teammates also were going through similar things. And so we decided to create some sort of startup that revolved around giving people access to mental health support. And that's really where my passion for entrepreneurship, mental health, and coding really skyrocketed.
My name is Ashlyn. I am a 7th grader at Concrete Middle School, and I'm doing our school's robotics class. We're mostly doing stuff with Lego robotics, and right now we're doing stuff with drones. Honestly, when we were doing electives, I was like, robotics sounds cool. And then when I went there, it was like, I really did not regret choosing that. Robotics is in the morning before any of our Zoom classes. So we get there, and our teacher, Mr. Wyan, will tell us what we're doing for the day. He's probably one of my favorite teachers that I've had so far. He usually does a really good job at explaining stuff too. Lately, we've been doing stuff with drones, and there's a simulator that you can get to try stuff out on before you do it in the classroom. That way you can, try on error on a computer instead of in the classroom, which can usually result in the drone crashing into something. Coding is honestly probably my favorite part. Just even if it is really hard and tricky sometimes, it is really satisfying when your code works for the first time, seeing it all come together. I think I just like the building and the working together. I just think robotics is really fun all around.
So I started coding when I was 18, and I had a lot of thoughts that compared to my classmates, I was starting too late, or they would be way ahead of me and I would never be able to catch up. But I learned that it's really never too late to start learning to code, and just because someone has been coding for longer than you doesn't mean that they necessarily know more than you or are better suited for a job than you are. And I would just say to keep following your interests and keep an open mind about what skills are out there that you can always continue to pick up along the way, including coding.
What I love about computer science and the technology field in general is its capacity to help all different types of fields. Technology is so interdisciplinary. It allows you to help doctors, help stop climate change. It helps you to just empower just tons of other fields.
Like if I decided tomorrow that I wanted to, instead of working in the conservation world, I wanted to work in the healthcare world, for instance, I could take the skills that I have in technology and transfer them to the healthcare world, or really any other field that I can imagine. So it's a pretty amazing sort of superpower.
Seeing the impact that technology has in all of these fields and every aspect of our life has given me inspiration to keep propelling the field and disrupting the narrative that technology is like this scary field that no one can get into. I want to disrupt that narrative and ensure that everyone has access to learning about computer science and realizing that their potential really matters in that world.